You're going to want to watch this. The 7 main attributes that separate the rich from the poor. What makes these two so different from each other? What most people don't realize is that not all people who are very wealthy today were born rich. If you want to discover more, keep watching. Now, how do wealthy people achieve their monetary goals? Rich people perceive the world differently from those who are financially challenged. This leads to them thinking and behaving distinctly as well. Before we get down to business, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Without further ado, let's start a countdown, beginning with number 7. People who have it easier in life do not go to great lengths just to brag about their money. Look at it this way. If 2 women were standing side by side, one clad in the most expensive dress, holding a newly released bag costing thousands of dollars, and another wearing a simple attire that does not turn heads, anyone would think that the former, rather than the latter, is swimming in pools of money. Here's the thing though, rich people know that sometimes prices do not exactly equate to the quality of a certain product. The number of zeros in a product's price does not always guarantee its longevity and efficiency. They are aware of the fact that oftentimes they can enjoy the same, if not higher quality, at a much more reasonable price. This mindset can be applied not just in fashion, but in other things too. The wealthy do not feel the need to hop on the trend if it's not especially necessary because they have nothing more to prove. They realize that buying something just because it's unexplainably popular is not much of a venture. This is contrary to how the less fortunate people think and act. Persons who aren't as well off usually have this drive to show others that they have the money, so they resort to purchasing products that cost a fortune, which in turn forces them to spend less on things that matter, like food. It is said that the world consists of 3 types of people: those who have, those who do not have, and those who have not paid for what they already have. Number 6. Saving money in unexpected places. As mentioned before, rich people know when to invest money and where best to invest it. They first weigh the pros and cons of buying certain products, and they assess whether there are cheaper options that are of the same standard. By doing this, they can save a lot of money without compromising quality. There are numerous occasions where people think they are reducing the amount of money spent, when in reality they are spending more. For example, if you like spending time in the kitchen, or even if you don't, using an induction stove is a great idea. It might seem like you would be wasting money by using this instead of the regular stoves, since an induction stove costs more. But aside from adding aesthetic value to your kitchen, its efficiency is of another level, since 90% of the energy generated is responsible for heating your food, preparing it much quicker, in contrast to electric stoves and gas stoves that are only 70% and 40% efficient respectively. If you're a fan of energy-saving products, you can use more efficient glass in your windows. Some people think they are wasting money when they choose to use energy-saving glass, as its price is double that of regular windows. What they fail to realize is that these windows, made of low-class glass, allow 40% of the heat to pass right through, and this heat is therefore lost. Energy-saving glass can minimize the transmission of heat through the glass by 75 to 90%. Just imagine the amount of money you can save and the energy you can conserve. What's more, this energy-saving glass works in both directions. As much as it keeps a home warm in the winter, it also maintains the coolness brought about by air conditioners in the summer. You might have not noticed, but LED light bulbs are still not preferred, despite their many benefits. The main reason for their low popularity is because they are pricey. Let's consider these things. Although an LED bulb costs 8 times more than an ordinary light bulb, it consumes 10 times less electricity. It also works for about 10,000 hours to 25,000 hours. That's a lot more than the service period of a regular bulb, which is only 1,000 hours. Now, although a thermostatic shower faucet may not be on the top of your list of affordable items, you will be saving a lot of money and time if you use this instead. You would not be spending a long time trying to regulate the temperature because this faucet will do it for you. Even if you turn it off, the water temperature will be perfect the moment you turn it on again. If you're a person who loves soda and for some reason you can't survive the day without indulging yourself in a cup or two, you might think that buying at least 2 cans of soda per day would cut your costs, when in reality you can save more by investing in a soda maker. Amazing, right? Number 5. Do not work for money. Let your money work for you. Every single person, regardless of whether they're rich or poor, breaks their back to earn money. The difference between these two is that the rich have the knack for making their money work for them, not the other way around. Delayed gratification is the key. They know which things to prioritize, which to sacrifice, and which investments will allow them to receive more. They come up with more innovative ways to maintain their wealth, or much better, expand it. They do not only save their money in bank accounts, they invest it, and they do it regularly too. It's a different story for those with financial problems. They are prone to spending their money on things that do not matter. They take jobs that they can barely handle. The sad part is, they can spend more as they earn more. And before they know it, they're drowning in credit card bills, in unpaid debt, and in financial instability. This becomes an exhausting cycle they can't bring themselves out of, a routine even they eventually grow tired of. Before we go to number 4, and if you want to make some quick cash, then you can click on the link in the description of this video. You can make some money fast with no experience required. Alright, back to our countdown. Number 4. Managing money. Proper management of money plays an important role in becoming rich. Wealthy people refuse to spend more than what they can afford and only spend within their means. Poor people, on the other hand, hardly survive with all the bills, and a lot of them do not even bother to keep track of their expenses, nor do they create a plan or a budget. They usually overspend or buy items on impulse, thus reducing the amount of money allocated for more necessary things. Number 3. Perception and mindset are crucial. Struggles can be looked at in 2 ways. The rich see them as opportunities to thrive, whereas the poor view them as obstacles to be avoided. The wealthy people use challenges as a channel for growth. They ensure that everything they do succeeds, because they will do everything in their power to make success happen. There is absolutely no room for failure. When they make mistakes, they make sure they don't repeat them, and they use these as motivation to keep going and do better. They face the consequences of every action they choose to take, and they go the extra mile to make certain that their plans come to fruition. Poor people do the exact opposite. They let their fears swallow them, and they end up unwilling to take risks, and they mainly focus on the possibility of losing something in the process. Number 2. Another thing that sets the rich apart is their fighting spirit. It doesn't matter what obstacle they're facing, because they have goals, overcome, and succeed. They do not hesitate to take risks, because they know it's the only way to win. They realize that losses are a part of a greater victory. They are dead set on their target, while the poor people avoid risks as much as they could and play safe because they're overwhelmed with the fear of losing money. They always make up excuses to validate their lack of initiative and rationalize their weak mindset. Number 1. No one in the world is fearless. Even the bravest person has 1 or even 2 things they're afraid of. Now the difference between the rich and the poor lies in this. The rich choose to face their fears, while the poor succumb to theirs. The wealthy people channel their fears into remarkable success. They broaden their way of thinking so that they can broaden their influence and power. On the other hand, the poor refuse to admit that they are scared and weak, so they just settle into this familiar lifestyle which hinders their chances of becoming wealthy. They are content with accepting defeat when they have not even dared to try yet. Let's be honest, it all comes down to this: your way of thinking. The decisions you make and your willpower determine what you become in the long run. It is completely up to you to turn your life around. Examine yourself. Do you want to keep wishing you were rich? Or do you have what it takes to become a truly rich person? We hope all these words enlightened you. It's time for you to take the next step, make a huge leap, and own your future. Let us know your thoughts, tips, or suggestions through the comment section. Also, don't forget to click on the thumbs up button if you like the video.